Silent Hill, a seemingly ordinary town nestled in the foggy mountains, holds a dark and terrifying secret. Once a thriving community, it is now shrouded in perpetual mist, abandoned and forgotten by the outside world. Those who dare to enter its boundaries are said to be confronted by their deepest fears, haunted by malevolent spirits and twisted creatures born from the town's cursed history. David and Claire Thompson, a married couple struggling to save their fractured relationship, decided to take a trip to Silent Hill in search of answers. David had recently discovered a letter from his deceased mother, urging him to visit the town where she had grown up. Believing that the trip might bring them closure and help mend their relationship, they set out on their journey. As they drove through the winding roads leading to Silent Hill, the sky grew overcast, and a thick fog began to envelop the landscape. The once clear and sunny day turned into a gray, oppressive gloom. The couple exchanged uneasy glances, but they pressed on, determined to uncover the secrets hidden within the town. The moment they crossed the town's boundary, the atmosphere changed dramatically. The air grew cold, and the fog became so dense that they could barely see a few feet in front of them. David and Claire parked their car near an old, dilapidated sign that read, "Welcome to Silent Hill," and stepped out, feeling an eerie presence all around them. The town was eerily silent, with not a soul in sight. As they walked through the deserted streets, they noticed the remnants of a once bustling community, abandoned homes, broken storefronts, and rusted vehicles. The fog seemed to swallow their surroundings, making it difficult to discern what lay ahead. David clutched the letter from his mother tightly, using it as a guide to navigate the labyrinthine streets. The letter mentioned a specific address where his mother had lived, and they made their way towards it, their footsteps echoing through the empty town. They arrived at an old, weathered house that stood at the edge of town. The windows were boarded up, and the front door creaked ominously as they pushed it open. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the scent of decay. Cobwebs adorned the corners, and the furniture was covered in a thin layer of grime. David and Claire explored the house cautiously, their flashlights illuminating the darkness. As they ventured deeper into the house, they found a small, hidden room that appeared untouched by time. Inside, they discovered a collection of old photographs, letters, and a journal belonging to David's mother. The journal contained detailed entries about the town's dark history and the curse that plagued it. According to the entries, Silent Hill was built on sacred land, and the spirits of those who had been wronged sought vengeance on the living. The journal also mentioned a ritual that could break the curse, but it required immense courage and the willingness to confront one's deepest fears. As they delved deeper into the journal, strange occurrences began to plague David and Claire. They heard whispers and footsteps in the empty house, and shadows seemed to move on their own. The temperature dropped, and an oppressive sense of dread filled the air. One night, David had a vivid nightmare in which he encountered a monstrous figure with a pyramid-shaped helmet and a giant blade. The creature pursued him relentlessly, and David awoke in a cold sweat, his heart pounding in his chest. Claire, too, experienced terrifying visions of ghostly apparitions and twisted creatures emerging from the fog. Realizing that the curse was taking hold of them, David and Claire decided to perform the ritual mentioned in the journal. They gathered the necessary items, a silver dagger, sacred herbs, and candles, and prepared to face the malevolent forces that haunted Silent Hill. To perform the ritual, they needed to travel to the heart of Silent Hill, a place known as the Otherworld. According to the journal, the Otherworld was a nightmarish parallel dimension where the town's darkest secrets were laid bare. It was a place where reality and illusion blurred, and the line between the living and the dead was thin. As they ventured deeper into the town, the landscape around them began to change. The buildings appeared twisted and decayed, and the fog thickened, obscuring their vision. The air was filled with the sound of distant cries and the clanging of metal. David and Claire followed the instructions in the journal, chanting the incantations and lighting the candles as they made their way to the town center. The ground beneath their feet felt unstable, as if it could give way at any moment. Finally, they reached the entrance to the Otherworld, a rusted, iron gate covered in strange symbols. As they pushed the gate open, a cold, malevolent wind swept through, pulling them into the dark abyss beyond. In the other world, David and Claire were confronted by their deepest fears and regrets. The twisted landscape was a reflection of their inner turmoil, filled with nightmarish creatures and disturbing visions. David found himself in a decrepit hospital, where he encountered the spirit of his mother. She was bound by chains, her eyes filled with sorrow and pain. David realized that his mother's spirit was trapped in the other world, and he needed to free her to break the curse. Claire, meanwhile, faced her own demons. She found herself in a dilapidated school, haunted by the memories of a traumatic incident from her childhood. Ghostly children roamed the halls, their eyes filled with accusation and torment. Claire knew she had to confront her past and make peace with it to move forward. David and Claire fought their way through the nightmarish landscape, confronting the twisted creatures and malevolent spirits that stood in their way. They gathered the courage to face their fears and performed the ritual to break the curse. In the heart of the otherworld, they found an ancient altar covered in runes and symbols. They placed the silver dagger on the altar and chanted the incantations from the journal. The air around them crackled with energy, and a blinding light enveloped the altar. The spirits of Silent Hill, including David's mother, began to ascend from the otherworld, their forms dissolving into the light. The oppressive presence that had haunted the town lifted, and the landscape began to shift back to its original state. As the light faded, David and Claire found themselves back in the real world, standing at the center of Silent Hill. The fog had lifted, revealing the town bathed in the warm glow of the morning sun. The oppressive atmosphere was gone, replaced by a sense of peace and tranquility. David felt a deep sense of closure, knowing that his mother's spirit had found peace. Claire, too, felt a weight lifted from her shoulders, having confronted her past and made peace with it. The experience had brought them closer together, and they knew they could face any challenge as long as they were together. The curse of Silent Hill had been broken, and the town began to heal. The townsfolk who had fled returned, and efforts were made to restore the once thriving community. The story of David and Claire's journey spread, inspiring others to confront their own fears and seek redemption. Silent Hill remained a place of mystery and intrigue, but it was no longer a place of terror. The shadows that had haunted the town had been dispelled, and the spirits of the past had found peace. David and Claire returned to their lives, forever changed by their experience. They continued to honor the memory of those who had been lost and worked to build a future filled with hope and love. The curse of Silent Hill had been lifted, but the lessons they had learned would stay with them forever. If you enjoyed this haunting and captivating story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue to bring you stories that ignite your imagination and keep you on the edge of your seat. Thank you for being part of our storytelling community.